Hello everyone, my name is John. Today I will tell you how to set up integration to transfer new rows from Airtable to Pipedrive. This is necessary to automatically transfer new rows from Airtable to other systems. For example, in Pipedrive you can create new deals and conveniently work with them in the future. Now let's move on to the setup. First, you need to create a new connection. Next, select the data source system, Airtable. Now, select the action, Get Rows, New. At this stage you need to connect your Airtable account to the ApiX-Drive service. In this window you must specify the login and password of your Airtable personal account. At this stage, we provide ApiX-Drive access to work with your Airtable databases. To do this, click Add a Base. I recommend providing access to all databases at once, so that in the future you will be able to work with them. When the connected login appears in the list of active accounts, select it and click Continue. At this stage it is necessary to select the base from which we will receive new rows. Also select the table. Now you need to select column of type created time. If you don't have anything in this list, you need to add a new column to your table. To do this, press plus and select the column created time. After that, refresh the ApiX-Drive page and select a column from the list. At this stage you can set up a data filter. In this case there is no need for this, so just click Continue. At this stage, you see the data that is in the selected table in one of the rows. If you are satisfied with everything, click Continue. At this point, setting up the Airtable data source has been successfully completed. Now you need to move on to setting up the data destination. Select the system, Pipedrive. Next you need to select an action, Create Deal. At this stage you need to connect your Pipedrive account to the ApiX-Drive system. In this window you need to specify the domain and API key. To get this data, go to your Pipedrive personal account. Copy the domain from the address bar, without additional characters. Then go to Settings. API tab. Copy the API token and paste it into the appropriate field in the ApiX-Drive system. When all required fields are filled in, click Continue. When the connected account appears in the list of active accounts, select it and click Continue. At this point you see Pipedrive fields for creating new deals. You can assign variables from Airtable to these fields. To do this, click in the field and select a variable from the drop-down list. Please note that you can use not only variables from the drop-down list, but also enter data manually. To go to the next line, use Enter. When all the required fields are assigned, click Continue. At this point you see an example of the data that will be sent to Pipedrive in the form of new deals with each new row from Airtable. If you are not satisfied with something, click Edit and you will go back a step. In order to check the correctness of the settings, click Send Test Data to Pipedrive. After successful sending, go to Pipedrive and check the result. If you are satisfied with everything, return to the ApiX-Drive service and continue setting up. At this point, setting up Pipedrive as a data destination has been successfully completed. Now you need to enable auto update and select an update interval, for example, once every 5 minutes. That's all. I wish you successful integration settings and good luck.